What's going on YouTube? Today I am going to be talking about the 626B from Wilson Combat. It's a bulletproof one-piece Magwell, full-sized blue. So as you can see, this is the Magwell. Don't worry, I've already safety checked this weapon before I started the video. So it doubles as a mainspring housing. Got a little lint in there. Doubles as a mainspring housing and also a magazine well, and it's just one solid piece. It was machined from one solid billet of steel, and it's made from again by Wilson Combat. It's a very high quality part and very expensive in my opinion. It costs me about 180 bucks. I got it directly from Wilson Combat. They shipped it out UPS. Just gonna go over the features real quick. This is the packaging that it came in. So just 626B Wilson Combat. Now this was the mainspring housing that I originally had in my gun. It was the stock piece, and it was a piece of polymer. It was a polymer mainspring housing, and honestly, I hated this thing. I actually left all the internal parts. I don't know if you can see that, but this mainspring housing is actually still good to go. Um, Wilson Combat does not ship these mainspring housings, or to my knowledge, any of their mainspring housings with the springs ready to go. You have to punch out that little pin right there on your old mainspring housing, take out the mainspring housing cap, the mainspring itself, and then a little plunger that sits at the bottom. Take that out, put it into your new one, and then you're good to go. And then also you need to save that pin right there that holds it in the gun itself. I decided to actually just buy all new parts, completely overhaul the mainspring housing. So I got a new pin, a new plunger, a new cap, a new spring, and the spring I actually got, oh, and that little pin as well. But the spring I actually got is reduced power, which helps with the cocking of the hammer, which gives you, actually, apparently gives you a lighter trigger pull, and it makes it easier to cock the hammer. Now with this mainspring housing and this mainspring that's in this piece of crap, it was pulling teeth to cock this hammer even with both hands on the gun. But now I can do it one-handed. I can do it upside down and around. It makes it very easy to cock this thing just on the fly. It's really no effort at all. It really does seem to help also with the trigger pull. I don't know if you guys have noticed and have tried out that reduced power, but if you have been thinking about something you wanted to do to help with the hammer and also the trigger pull, I would highly recommend getting that that reduced power mainspring from Wilson Combat. It's like $8 and it works wonders. It's incredible. So it's turned out to be a little bit of a double review, but back to the mainspring housing itself. So it's 30 LPI checkering, and that was one of my biggest complaints with the original stock piece, is that it offered no checkering at all. It was just those lines, and my fingers are just slipping on it up and down. It offers zero grip. I honestly think this is one of the worst parts on this gun that I've replaced. I don't know why Colt sends their guns out with a polymer mainspring housing, and Kimber does it too, I believe, and they're just crap. I just hang on to it in case I ever need it one day, but this new one is leaps and bounds ahead of this polymer piece. So like I said, it's that 30 LPI checkering, and it offers a good solid grip on the back of your hand. Sometimes takes dead skin off of my hand when I'm shooting, and I'll notice little bits, like there's little teeny specks and stuff like that. That's the one problem with these checkerings, is that it just traps in dust and dirt and grime. And so normally when I clean my gun, I'll just get like a toothbrush or something and just lightly scrub it and get all that gunk out of there, and it seems to do a pretty good job. And then there's the actual Magwell itself, which offers a lot wider opening for insertion of the magazine, and it makes a massive difference in my opinion, because when I was trying to insert a mag before I got this, I was constantly catching the mag on the edges and trying to jam it in there, and it just wasn't working for me. And so once I got this thing, I can do this thing. I can reload my gun in the dark without even looking behind my back. It really helps quite a bit. So if you've been thinking about getting a Magwell, and also one-piece Magwell that doubles as a mainspring housing, I would highly suggest this one. It's very quite nice. My only complaint about this thing, it is one heavy little son of a bee. It probably weighs a pound. I'm exaggerating, but it is seriously incredibly heavy. When I first picked it up in this little bag, I'm like, no way does this little part weigh this much. It was so heavy. And when I swapped it out, I'm used to this really lightweight Palmer piece, and I almost think that's why Kimber and Colt, they make it with this Palmer piece, is it because it makes the gun so light. This gun is so heavy. So if I ever ran out of ammunition, a pistol whip would drop a guy just as quick as a bullet would, I think, because it really adds a lot of heft to the gun. So if you get a chance to get your hands on one of these and just feel the weight of it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It is a very heavy piece. I kind of like it, but at the same time, carrying it, I carry this gun a lot, and when I carry it, it gets really tiresome because it adds a lot of heft to the gun. You just need to try it, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But like I said, guys, this is a great magazine well. As you can see, it's had quite a bit of use. I've really loved this thing. The only thing about it is let's see if you can see that. You see that lip right there? You can see where the magwell ends and the actual gun begins. The instructions are to blend it, or just get a gunsmith to file it, and so it kind of blends in with the rest of the gun. But I didn't do that, honestly. Oh, there you go. There's a good shot of it. You can really see it right there. I didn't do that, and honestly, I haven't regretted it. It hasn't made that big of a difference, and I think it's great. The back, let's see here. The back right there, it's very clean. It doesn't have a lip like the sides do. The sides have a pretty hefty lip. Like I can get my fingernail in there. It's pretty hefty, but if you don't want to blend it, I would suggest either having a gunsmith do it or not doing it at all if it's not necessary, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. But yeah, that's my review of this magazine well. The only thing that bothers me about it is the hefty price tag that comes along with it, and also the ridiculous weight of it. So if you guys are looking into buying one of these from Wilson Combat, I'd suggest doing it. Just keep in mind of the price tag and the weight. But I really hope this video gets out there, because all the videos I was trying to find for this particular one piece from Wilson Combat were all showing up with those little ones that Wilson Combat makes for like 20 bucks, and it just like kind of wraps around the bushings on your grips there. And I don't know. I mean, if that works for you, it works for you. But it was driving me crazy that I couldn't find an actual video for this one spring magwell. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it was kind of informative. And if you guys have any questions at all about the magwell or anything else about the gun or any other parts that I've reviewed, feel free to shoot me a message or comments in the make your comments in the section below, and I'll get to them as fast as I can. Thanks again, guys, and have a nice day.